Hey, what's up, toy heads? Jason here with Toybot.
Oh, hail, Toybot!
Coming at you today with a quick review video. Finally managed to get my hands on the Masters of the Universe Mighty Masters 3.25 to 3.5 inch figures that have been hitting Walmarts here in the States. Had to drive a couple cities away to get my hands on those, but happy to announce I managed to grab all 4 of those figures. As you can see here, I've got Skeletor, He-Man, Beast-Man, and of course, Man-at-Arms. As soon as I saw these figures pop up on social media, I think they popped up, they were showing up in Australia first. I was like, please let these figures show up stateside, because yeah, minifigures are definitely something I'm really into, and to have these little, small, little 3.25 inch figures. Yeah, I knew that was something I really wanted to get, and it's really cool that they actually have their some of their vintage power. He-Man just threw his power sword, but you can see that He-Man and Skeletor have the waist, the power punch, like the vintage figures had. And then Man-at-Arms and Beast-Man have an arm thing here. Their arm comes up like a power punch or a power hit. Unfortunately, my Beast-Man, it does not work. Unfortunately, it was pretty much like that out of the package, his arm. Now, is that a big deal to me? No, because for me it's more about getting cool, minifigures of vintage MOTU characters. So, while I'm kind of bummed his power, out of the package it wasn't working. It seems like his arm's just a little too tight. But like I said, I'm just happy that the arm's not broken or something like that. It stays on. It's fine. It just seems like it's a tight fit. So that seems to be what's going. You can hear the clicking when I bring his arm up. But yeah, so kind of bummed about that. But again, it's not going to let that ruin the experience. Like I said, it was a $5 figure. These figures, I believe they're $4.97 a piece, and yeah, definitely worth the the low price point. Like, yeah, I'm really already hoping that we get a second wave of these characters. Of hopefully we get Evil Lyn and Teela. Merman would be great. Basically, if we could at least get the original 10 figures or whatever, like the original figures that came out. So if we could get now Zodak, Merman, Triclops, Ram Man, that'd be cool to get a little Ram Man. Maybe he has a little spring action, that'd be pretty cool. Now you may have noticed that behind the Mighty Masters, I've grabbed a selection of other minifigures from my collection, just so we can kind of sort of do size comparison with them. Now, as you can tell with the, like I mentioned before, the Mighty Masters stand, like I said, they are about, a little over 3 inches, 3.25 inches, I believe, is what it's been going around on the internet. But, so, comparing them to a few other mini figures Oops. All right. So, well, hey, you know what? Let's start off with a comparison to the Battle Tribes. I've picked up these Battle Tribes figures. This obviously nod to He-Man. Stands a little bit shorter because I think those are at exactly a 3-inch height. I believe, yeah, or just under it. And as you can see, I've got a He-Man and I've also got a Skeletor, both kind of like battle armor. I was really hoping they were going to scale a little bit better with these because I thought it'd be kind of fun to have, you know, some photos, some adventures, kind of like a multiversal thing, you know, especially since these ones kind of are a homage to the battle armor versions of the characters. And, you know, I probably can still do something, you know, maybe in their universe everybody's just that much shorter. But one thing I really noticed that the Mighty Masters really scale well with are the Mighty Maniax figures. The Glyos, yeah, I mean, they are pretty much right there. Almost even have a kind of a similar stance real. And then this guy. Yeah, so really, yeah, the Mighty Maniacs scale really well with the Mighty Masters. So if anybody else, if you've got your, I'm sure if anybody else out there that has some Mighty Maniacs figures, I've probably already noted this, but yeah, I'm really digging how these scale together. So definitely expect maybe some photos, some storytelling, photo stories with utilizing some of my Mighty Maniacs characters to go along with my Mighty Masters. I mean, do you think was there something there? Is there something there in the name with the Mattel? You know, see what the Rocom Toys is doing with the Glyos stuff with the Mighty Maniacs, and they're like, hey, we got to get in on that. We gotta, I don't know, but like I said, I do really dig the way they scale. And I also brought out this this dude that I recently picked up. Yeah, he's a little bit smaller, but you know, I feel like he can still work in because he can be kind of like this little, you know, kind of like this shaman, this bone shaman guy. So I feel like he can still, because he's kind of got that muscular build, even though he's bones. I feel like he can kind of fit in story-wise. Now, I will say I do bring out a Battle Beast here, and like I said, Battle Beast, they just, you know, I guess Battle Beasts you could say they could scale. I guess they could just be, you know, like halflings to the Mighty Masters scaled figures. But yeah, I don't think there's going to be much there. I just, in a way of storytelling, who knows, maybe. Interesting enough, the Transformers Core Class figures, I mean, if you just look at them like that, the figures, yeah, those still, I think they're in the same scale. I mean, they're pretty much same height and everything. So you could do some interesting stuff there with the Core Class. I have a few Transformers Core Class. So I guess it depends on what you think of the scale of Transformers versus, you know, human-sized characters. Because I'm assuming the Masters are human-sized characters, at least on Eternia. So how does that work with Transformers? I don't know. So maybe some of the smaller Transformers work well, but I do like, you know, I feel like there's some potential there. And let's see, bust out this Stranger Things Gourd Horde figure. I think this could be fun for some photos, you know, as like a monster up for them to fight. I know this is supposed to be 1/18 scale, but again, a crazy pumpkin-headed monster can be the scale. I feel like you can get some range there. So it could just be like this, you know, some entity that Skeletor is summoned, you know, to fight He-Man, or you know, this could be some sort of take like on Evil Seed. You know, I'm getting a little Evil Seed vibes here. Maybe it's some minion for Evil Seed, you know. who knows? And of course, my Ghidorah figure. Now this is obviously bigger, but again, I feel like in classic Filmation He-Man episodes, I feel like there's got to be some sort of bigger, like, slime type monster that He-Man had to, you know, beat up on. So I feel like this could be something fun. We could work something else out story wise here. You know, again, another monster entity that, you know, Skeletor has summoned to, you know, bring down He-Man. But all in all, you guys, like I said, I really like these figures. Again, enough that I found out that the neighboring town had these figures. I drove up there, you know, drove about 20 minutes, so I didn't really have to go too far, but still, you know, 20 minutes on a Saturday morning, grab these. So I did manage to grab these, as well as the new Power Sword. I'll do another video on that, maybe like a short on that. But yeah, so all in all, it was a good morning. It was a good haul for some Masters of the Universe, because I've been really itching to find Masters of the Universe, and my Walmarts, the 2 Walmarts near me, have not had any Masters of the Universe since Christmas. The bigger of the 2 Walmarts had some 2000X that wasn't even on the pegs very long before everything got put on clearance, and that sat in the clearance section for a while. But there was no Masters of the Universe section currently at either of my Walmarts. And when I went up to this neighboring Walmart, like I said, in a neighboring town, they had not only Masters of the Universe section, just the toy aisle itself just was full and taken care of, and it was just great to see. Even stuff I'm not into, it was awesome seeing they've got the latest toys for other lines, and I'm like, that's awesome, because none of this stuff is showed. Like the smaller of the 2 Walmarts, like, there's been bare pegs, bare sections in the toy aisle for months, pretty much right since after Christmas, really. So it is just awesome that I was able to make it up, you know, to this Walmart and get it. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get the Chronicles Scare Glow, but I'll keep an eye out for him, because I'm not really going to go heavy into that line, but that figure, from everybody, all the photos and videos people are sharing online, it looks like a great figure, and I really want to get my hands on it. But for now, I had to make do with these Mighty Masters, and definitely more than enough to scratch that itch for a little bit there, because I'm just, probably have fun taking photos of these guys for a while. And I wish I do one thing, as I compared them to the Mighty Maniax figures, I do wish the Mattel, if they were taking a cue from the Mighty Maniax line from Rocom, I kind of wish we had a little bit more articulation. And I know these are supposed to be sort of like just kind of a throwback to the simplicities of the vintage, but man, just having some wrist articulation and just like, cut at the knee, like to turn, I don't know. It would be nice, but again, I'm not complaining. These are fun. These will make great desk figures, little dioramas, having them at such a smaller scale, it's easy to kind of set up some cool dioramas, stuff for photography. It would be really cool if maybe, they consider doing some vehicles for the scale, considering it looks like figures you can bend their legs like this and they can kind of sit. I guess not too well, but then again, the vintage figures didn't sit that well either. You'll notice also there's holes on the bottom of their feet, so I don't know if that's just because they want to have something so they could fit like a standard stand, or if they've got plans for potential future playset, some sort of vehicles where they have to plug in. I'm not sure. But yeah, guys, that is all I got. Oh, I know I started off showing the packages. So I was so excited to open these up that I didn't even care to film like any sort of unboxing, because I wanted to get these open and start messing around with them. But I did notice, if you look at the packaging here, we've got He-Man, and they've got the He-Man and Man-Arms both. They had a blue background, and then Skeletor and Beastman had a red background. So I found that interesting. That, it was nice that they had the consistency of the Evil Warriors having a red background, and the Heroic Warriors having the blue background. There we got the side box art here. I'd actually already thrown these out, and I dug these out of the recycling today just for this video. So I was like, oh, it'd be nice to actually show the packaging. But I didn't dig out Man-at-Arms or Beastman, so let's make do with He-Man and Skeletor. The sidebar shows their action feature. But yeah, that's the packaging. Maybe at some point in this video, maybe right here, I'll include an image of the figures as they are shown in the packaging. Not that at this point, I'm sure everybody's seen them in the packaging, so it's probably no need, but if I can dig up a picture off the internet, I'll throw it up here. But let me know what you guys think. Have you picked these figures up yourself? Do you plan on picking them up? I'm seeing kind of mixed response out there. I feel like there's a lot of people who are like me, who love minifigures, so they are super into these. But I have seen a few people playing, they're like, oh, not another MOTU line to get into. And fine, whatever. I mean, you don't have to get into this line. It's like you have to collect every Master Universe line. Personally, like I said, I think it's really cool. Personally, I'm probably going to try to avoid the Chronicles line. I mean, I've got some Masterverse figures, but my main line is Origins, and that's for the fact that they are, a modern interpretation of the vintage figures. These little minifigures give me vibes of the vintage figures, but at a smaller scale, and just kind of fun. Just so I know a few minutes ago I was mentioning, complaining about lack of articulation. It's not really a complaint. It's just I kind of wish they had it. Like, I love these figures as is. But anyways, guys, comment down below. Let me know, what do you think? Are you picking these up? You have them already? What do you think? Do you want more? Do you think we're going to get more? And what are your thoughts? Vehicles? Yeah? Yay? Nay? Or is that just like one more thing to have to buy, in a different scale? Anyways, I appreciate you guys checking out this video and sticking around this long if you are still with me at this point. If you dug this video and like more videos like this, I have been trying to post more. So if you hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell, all that jazz, that'll let you know the next time that I drop a toy video. I really appreciate your support and love talking to people about toys. So if you want to, like I said, I'll have a conversation with you in the comments here. Let me know. That being said, until next time, toy heads, all hail Toybot.
Big boy, meow.